Welcome to DesignerDigitals Bi-Weekly Tip, September 14th, 2018. This week how to punch out titles with layer styles in Photoshop and Elements. In the previous tip, we explored two ways to punch titles from background paper by erasing or deleting the title letters. That method is perfectly acceptable and easy, but it's the digital equivalent of using a craft knife to cut out the title. Once those cuts are made, you can't move the title around without redoing some of your work. So this week we'll walk through a less destructive method for getting the punched out effect. Having several techniques in your hip pocket gives you the option to choose the one that feels most comfortable for you. And we'll be using Katie Pertitte's Blacked Out Alpha number 1, which is a great title choice for this technique. You can also use other alphabet sets to get the look you want for your digital project. Here's how to get that look. Open a digital background paper in Photoshop and Elements, and then open the blacked out alphabet letters that you need to create your title. Use the Move tool to drag the letters into place, creating your title. When your title is complete, locate and click to select the top letter layer over in the Layers panel. Hold the Shift key and click the bottom letter layer in the Layers panel. This will select all of the letters, but it won't select the background paper. Check to make sure that the background paper is not selected, and then press Ctrl-E or on a Mac system Command-E on the keyboard to merge the letter layers. And now your title will all be on one layer. Next, open a piece of digital paper. This is a paper that will eventually look like it's behind the cutout letters. Using the Move tool again, drag the paper onto your document. Make sure that the paper layer is one layer above the letter layer in the Layers panel. If it doesn't come in right above the title layer, you can drag it up or down the Layers panel until it rests one position above your title layer. Press Alt-Control-G or on a Mac system Option-Command-G on the keyboard to create a clipping mask which attaches the paper to the letters. In some older versions of Photoshop, choose Control-G, and in Elements, choose Control-G. Alternatively, you can hold your cursor between the two layers and hold down the Alt or Option key and click, and this also creates a clipping mask. If none of those work for you, choose Layer, Create Clipping Mask from the menu bar. Before proceeding, click the title layer, which will be the middle layer. You're going to apply an inner shadow layer style to this layer. Be sure to select the title letters layer. If you accidentally choose one of the other two layers, the style won't be visible. I'm going to reduce the pattern paper so it's not distracting to us. Alright, with that middle layer selected, double click outside of the layer name in the Layers panel if you're working in Photoshop. Choose Inner Shadow, so you'll tick the little Inner Shadow box and select the Inner Shadow tab. This opens up the Inner Shadow options over here on the right. I like to use a blend mode of multiply with an opacity of about 40%, and then just play with the distance and size until you get the look that you want. If you have preview over here ticked, you'll be able to see your work in real time by dragging this box over and looking at your work. When you're satisfied, choose OK. If you're working in Elements, choose the Styles tab. It's down here at the bottom in the newer versions of Elements. And then choose the Inner Shadow option from the drop-down menu. For this one, I would choose the Low Inner Shadow, and then click back on Layers to get back to your Layers panel. At this point, the title letters appear to be cut out of the background paper. But to move the title, you'll need to get the Move tool, and in the options, which in Elements are down at the bottom, in Photoshop it's up at the options bar at the top, you'll want to untick this auto select layer because you don't want Photoshop to select the layer for you. You want to tell it which one to select in this case. And then you can come over and move this layer around. And anywhere you move it, it still looks cut out. So in Photoshop, you'll get the Move tool and then untick this Auto Select layer at the top. And then with the title layer selected, you can move it around your page. Using this method, you can digitally punch out titles from photos, mats, ribbons, tape, tags, and background papers while still maintaining the ability to move the title. Thanks so much for watching this week's video. Be sure to check back in 2 weeks for another Designer Digitals tip.